YouTubers, this is BlueGoddess, and I would like to start off by saying thank you, 1,000 times thank you to my 230 subscribers. I know I've been in and out of the YouTube scene as of late, and as you can tell by my changed surroundings, it's because I've been going through a major move from kind of an adult to an actual adult. So again, thank you for sticking it out with me. As thanks, I'm going to be giving you more videos in a more timely fashion. On that note, I would like to thank two of my subscribers in particular, Zaef and Multi-Kayla, for giving me excuse to review one of my favorite cartoons of all time. The amount of depth that is encapsulated in this cartoon is something that very few cartoons, at least on the Western side, can rival. Avatar: The Last Airbender aired on Nickelodeon in 2005. This was, by far, the greatest shocker for me. A show as deep and well done as Avatar had absolutely no business on Nickelodeon. The true tragedy of Avatar was the fact that it might have been exactly what Cartoon Network needed to climb back up the ranks. Instead, this gem was put on the same lineup as SpongeBob. Not to down SpongeBob, but can you imagine those two things back to back?
Please, my love, listen to me. Everything I've done to protect you. Remember this, Zuko. No matter how things may seem to change, never forget who you are.
That's his eager face.
At least Cartoon Network had designated blocks for this kind of thing. Avatar: The Last Airbender is one of those shows that sticks with you long after you've finished watching it. Like a good book, it leaves you asking questions about life and delving into your own psyche. At least that's how I felt after watching this show. But the show never becomes a brooding, coming-of-age story like many cartoon series tend to do. On the other hand, it does not become a happy-go-lucky Friends on the Road series with no plot either. It walks this line meticulously and is rewarded by being one of the best cartoon series of the 21st century. The first key to success of this cartoon is its unique storyline. For those of you who don't know, here's the gist.
Water. Earth. Fire. Air. Long ago, the four nations lived together in harmony. Then, everything changed when the Fire Nation attacked. Only the Avatar, master of all four elements, could stop them. But when the world needed him most, he vanished. 100 years passed and my brother and I discovered the new Avatar, an airbender named Aang. And although his airbending skills are great, he has a lot to learn before he's ready to save anyone. But I believe Aang can save the world.
And there you have it. Your average kid with the power to save the world bit, with a little bit of elemental magic thrown in for good measure. This was an interesting choice, seeing as the majority of elementally based shows are specifically geared towards girls nowadays. Examples are Winx and Witch. The only recent exception I can think of is Ninjago, which I really don't want to talk about right now. However, this is one element where the show stands out. The plot is as inviting as it is riveting and compelling. This is the type of show you wait with bated breath for and gab about all the time while waiting. The show's premise on its own would be enough to capture an audience, but the show proceeds with the story so well that it truly ended masterfully. Not unlike Harry Potter, the show grows with its audience, delving deeper into more adult issues as the series go on. Beginning as a simple save the world story, Avatar evolves into a stern look into questions of revenge, love, honor, and even morality. Each of the main characters in the series, and even many of the secondary characters, either experience or aid in a major lesson that has to do with the overall growth of the character, in addition to moving the story along. And what a story it is. Starting off as simply a story of a young boy endowed with the control over 4 elements who must stop the Fire Nation from waging war on the rest of the world, Avatar delves into both sides of the war story. On one side stands Aang, the only remaining airbender as a result of the war that has been raging for 100 years since his disappearance. The story proceeds with Aang realizing that he must master fire, water, and earth before he is strong enough to end the war. Meanwhile, another story runs parallel, the story of Fire Prince Zuko, the exiled son of the Fire Lord, who is doomed to chase the Avatar around the world in order to reclaim his honor. The 2 stories quickly intertwine, setting the viewers on an emotional roller coaster of anger, frustration, and pity for both parties. In addition to these crossed stories, the threat of war is never forgotten. Every major portion of the cartoon is punctuated with a major battle. You can almost see the history books being written. Every part of this story has a point, whether to entertain, educate, or illuminate. But of course, we all know that a strong story is nothing without an equally amazing cast of characters. Since there are so many to name, I'll just give a brief description of each person and expand on them as the need arises. First off, our main protagonist, Aang. We first meet up with Aang outside of the Southern Water Tribe, frozen in a sphere of ice. Upon emerging, the 12-year-old airbender reveals himself to be a fun-loving, carefree, and extremely caring towards his new friends. As the show progresses, we learn that Aang is a stout pacifist, vegetarian, and contemplative individual. His ability to balance all of these aspects of himself is what makes him such a convincing character. Katara is the nurturing big sister / love interest who kicks her fair share of ass with her waterbending abilities. Sokka is the goofy elder brother with no powers but rather a penchant for weaponry and war strategy, or at least later on. Toph is a tough little earthbender who is technically blind but can see a lot better than nearly everyone on the team. Then of course, there's Team Zuko. Zuko, as I've already said, is the banished prince of the Fire Nation. Fueled by shame, anger, and more than a healthy dose of familial problems, Zuko provides the perfect yang to Aang's yin. Iroh, Zuko's uncle and former heir to the Fire Nation throne, is an enlightened ex-general who acts as Zuko's surrogate father. He is there to temper Zuko's rage and remind him of the things in life that are truly worth fighting for. These characters are perfectly voiced, amazingly complex, and play off each other magnificently. No improvements could be made to any of these characters. On a personal note, I was not a huge fan of Katara, but that's my own personal taste. The animation style of Avatar was perfect for the feel they were trying to achieve. The art style allowed for serious moments to flow into comical bits flawlessly without upsetting the overall visual mood. The characters looked their ages, and bending was beautifully done. The most exceptional display of animation, of course, came in the form of the fight scenes. This is where the creators really did their homework. Every form of bending was based on a different, legitimate fighting style. Airbending was Bagwazang, earthbending was Hongar, except for Toph, who used Chugar, the praying mantis style. Firebending was Northern Shaolin, and waterbending was Tai Chi. In addition, the staff was heavily influenced by various studios, such as Studio 4 Degrees Celsius, Production IG, and Studio Ghibli. In particular, Samurai Champloo, Cowboy Bebop, and Foolie Cooley. With research material like that, how could you go wrong? All in all, Avatar: The Last Airbender is way deeper than this cursory review will allow me to talk about. Because of this, I will be doing little micro-reviews delving into the deeper aspects of Avatar: The Last Airbender, and to follow it up, I will be doing a full-length review on The Legend of Korra. After that, I will be doing what most of you have been waiting for and messaging me about: a comparison between Fullmetal Alchemist and Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. Until then, I'm BlueGoddess. If you like what I have to say, go ahead and click the like button. If you really like what I had to say, go ahead and subscribe. And if you have any requests that you'd like me to review, cartoon, anime, or otherwise, go ahead and leave me a message or comment below.